Yeah, my name is Sam Odofin, and I'm the Odofin Analyst at Analyst.
You're welcome. And
Thank you.
just to go, we just want to get to know you better and know about your coaching style, your philosophy, what you do for fun, and the rest of it. And to start with, we just want to know what inspired you to pursue coaching.
Um, I always wanted to be a player, a goalkeeper to be exact. And I wanted to make a professional football. When that didn't work out due to health related, I realized I had a true passion for coaching. I really look up to people like Sir Alex Ferguson, Jose Mourinho, Carlo Ancelotti, and the rest. And I wanted to imitate them. I had a goal to imitate them. So that's why I decided I wanted to go into coaching.
And so let's talk about your earliest memory of falling in love with the game.
My earliest memory of falling in love with the game for me would have to be seeing a replay or catching a replay of Wayne Rooney's bicycle kick against Manchester United, that derby, and that was what led me to become kind of affiliated or kind of affectionate towards the club. So that's my earliest memory of football. I was about 4 or 5 years old, but I can still remember that goal till today.
Okay, I do remember that goal myself. You've talked about some of your biggest influence in the game, like Sir Alex Ferguson. And let's talk about you now. What do you think would you describe your coaching style to be?
Um, I don't really have one coaching style to point to. I just believe that as a player, there are three principles you should follow: consistency, dedication, and perfectionism. You should want to give your 100%. So for me, my coaching style would be trying to motivate my players in every situation and trying to make them feel at home and at ease when they play. So I want to take a more correctional style of coaching rather than tactical. Really try to get to bond with the players and try to instill a sense of family amongst everyone in the team and togetherness, so that when everyone is focused on the same goal, you can achieve a lot. In fact, you can break down teams easily, and there will be passion in the team because every player will have love for one another.
I mean, I like the fact that you mentioned players because that was going to be my next question about your principles. How do you want to instill, discipline in players that you are coaching?
Discipline has to come from within, not from me per se, because as a coach, yes, it's my responsibility to instill discipline, but the player doesn't want it. At the end of the day, they don't want it. So I feel the best, it will all be about creating an environment where the player is free to feel at home and to enjoy their game, to enjoy the game that they're playing. And in terms of discipline, it will be making the player realize what's at stake. It's not my career that's at stake, it's your career more than ever. Even if I'm sacked and the next coach comes in and you're still repeating the same ways and you're still playing dully, at the end of the day, questions won't be pointed, questions will be asked at the coach anymore, it will be asked at you. So it's all about making them realize that their careers are at stake and their destinies are in their hands.
And so, therefore, in context, how do you then define, you know, your success as a coach?
Um, your success as a coach, some people would say silverware, some people would say individual awards. My success as a coach is ultimately making the players better versions of themselves off and on the pitch. And if I'm able to achieve that, if I'm able to make them better footballers and better human beings, then I think that's a metric for success in the game. For players to look, they can look and say, okay, since the coach came to the club, they've been able to achieve this, and this player has gotten better and that player has gotten better. It's all about player development rather than silverware. Silverware is very important because it's something that gives the players joy, and coaches are like, but for me, it's all about making players better versions of themselves off and on the pitch.
That's great. And now you've joined Bagada Football Club, and this is a club that is growing, and just like you, growing also as a coach. And what do you think your role as the opposition analyst, what it entails, what are you going to add to this team?
Well, it's not like the team really need me anyway. They are flying, they're doing very well. third in the league, a point behind first, and I've seen that they play some very intricate football. My boss, Mr. Jide Yellow, is a very, very good coach, and he's been able to inspire the boys to good heights. But what I'm looking to add is, for any points that the team might miss, that he might not be able to cover, to be able to write reports on where the team have gone wrong and gone right. In the last match, be able to offer a word of encouragement and write down criticisms, because in football, as a player, you have to be able to take criticism. So write down reports on where the team have gone right and wrong in their matches, and also to study the next opponent so that I can influence training drills on how we want to set up and how we want to play and what approach we'll take to the next opponents, so we can set up tactically, we can set up physically, mentally, technically, as much preparation as we can. I like to contribute to that greatly by stating every dangerous point that we need to focus on in our next game.
Yeah, you seem to be a very detailed, analyst and very technical at that. And this is what we think also as a team we need going forward. And do you think, with your addition into the team, giving details to future games and looking back, reviewing the past game, how do you think that helps the team, developing the squad that we have at the moment?
Analysis is a very important part of football, because you have to know when you have gone wrong and when you've gone right. So my job definitely helps with the development of the squad. Like, for example, now if a player decides to misplace a pass, or if a player is consistently not tracking their man, is consistently not finding their way into the box, if I write it down, it's something that they're gonna work on. Like, one of our players, we noted that he wasn't passing outside, he kept on receiving the ball inside, and the very next training drill we did, or the very first training drill we did this week, it was focused on not just him but the entire squad learning how to pass outside, to pass, to move, to focus and push the ball towards where you want to go now, as opposed to receiving the ball on the inside where the opposition can force a mistake and transition to goal. So when I analyze, I look to pinpoint the team's performance as well as individual performance to help develop these players. Like, although in my humble opinion, FC Bagada is a massive club to me, we all know that the heights of the Premier League are where these players want to reach, and I hope to contribute to that and get them to a starting point, to get them to countries like Austria, Bosnia, Moldova, and better leagues than the NPFL. So I hope to contribute to that.
Well, you've said a lot about development and helping the team, and let's go back to you again, talking about your long-time career as a coach. Where do you see yourself long-time as a coach?
The Premier League. It has to be the Premier League. That's the goal. And for me, as a Manchester United fan, I would want one day to be in the dugout coaching the boys and shouting and doing all that. That's my dream, and I'm working towards it every single day. Although I may not have the playing talent, the one thing that I know how to do a lot is I know how to shout, I know how to scream, I know how to give instructions, I know how to delegate. So that's where it has to end for me. And God's will, if it doesn't, I'm just looking to get to a point of stability where I'm coaching. I don't mind coaching anywhere, but I just want to coach. But in my preference, it has to be the Premier League.
Yeah, the Premier League is very entertaining, and also in Manchester United we've seen black coaches, African to say, have been part of the coaching crew in Manchester United, and I think somewhere in the theatre of dreams, someone is watching this right now and will put this on their tab, and I hope you get there someday.
Yeah, if they are, Ruben, I'm here for you.
In wrapping up, what advice would you give to your younger self? We are all still growing, you are still growing, and to other aspiring coaches that would want to be in your position today?
The advice I would give them is to be fearless and never to give up, because even to get to this point where I get to work for FC Bagada, I know about 6 football clubs around the NLO, the NNL, and some other leagues. I tried to work with them. Majority of them didn't get back to me. I hope they are regretting their decision now. But it's just never to give up and to be fearless and and know when to take your chances, know when to say when, because even my parents and everyone at home was looking at me like, oh, well, why do you want to do this? Like, you can't be going out. And I insisted. I was very stubborn. It's knowing when to be stubborn and when not to give up on yourself and when not to give up on your dream. I could have easily took 6 rejections and be like, oh, I'm never going to become a coach. But we thank God that I'm here today because of my relentlessness and my just drive to keep on pushing, to keep on being fearless, and to keep on looking for opportunities, searching for ways to better yourself. So for my younger self, I'm happy I listened to my advice now. And for anybody else that is looking to become a coach but doesn't know how to start, one, just stay calm, trust that it will happen, trust in God, and be fearless and never give up, never relent.
And we are happy to have you in Bagada FC.
I'm very happy to be
And
here.
to the fans, we are introducing to you Samuel Odofin, our new opposition analyst, and we'll see how they're on the pitch.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.